Hello, Coach Reggie here, business growers, action coach, scaling up. Wanted to, of course, those of you that don't know me, we grow businesses and business owners, help them navigate the complex waters of building and growing their business. So, and one of the things that has come up as a big central theme out in the business community, we've done a couple of events, most recently a business roundtable, and we've talked about the top constraints that exist in business and how to grow through them. And of course, the common theme that came up overwhelmingly from all different sectors of business is how is people acquisition, being able to find good people, being able to hire them and keep them. So a lot of issues with I just can't get people to apply, or we lose them to other opportunities, or we're losing people to other businesses. So the people side of the business, recruiting, hiring, screening, retaining, and selling them to take your job, big issue. So one of the things I went and did is interviewed a handful of business owners I've worked with. Now, just keep in mind that while this has become much more of a epidemic across the wider spread business community and different sectors, more widespread business sectors, hiring has become more of an issue when it wasn't really an issue maybe pre-pandemic 3 or 4 years ago, but it has for 17 years that I've operated a business coaching and growing practice. It has always been an issue because as we grow businesses, they suck up people. They need people, right? They're huge people because you can't grow a great business without great people. So we generally have two issues. Issue number one, they may not have enough people to start with. As they begin to grow, they need more people because a bigger business may need more people. And the other issue is the people that you have may not be the ones that you need. They may not grow with the business as well, or maybe they didn't belong there to start with. Some of the ones that maybe belonged in the business at a lower level don't belong at the higher level. So for the 17 years I've been in practice, I've really been focused on helping business owners, be really, really good at the hiring piece, right? And when the pandemic came, they were really prepared because they've been kind of in shape for this a lot. Even new clients come on board. We were really pretty quickly able to help kind of fix some of their talent acquisition issues. So thought I'd share with you, and we're going to do this in a couple of ways. I've interviewed 3 different owners that have really done some things that are, different than most business owners when it comes to hiring. They've had some great success. They've done some, they worked hard. They've got their knowledge up. They've done some really smart things. So I thought you would enjoy learning directly from them. I would pay attention to a handful of themes that you may see that exist. And some of those, themes are that, notice how they increase their knowledge in the area of, recruiting, attracting, screening, and bringing talent on board, actually hiring them and retaining them. So one of the things they realized first up, or things I recognized and pointed out to them, is they really lacked a lot in the form of knowledge on how to be a good hirer. Most business owners they're not trained in scouting for talent, attracting talent, screening talent, all the things that HR professionals studied and are experts at. They're going against those kind of people for top talent. And as the labor market has tightened up, it's become much more scarce. So, you've got to be really, really good at knowing how to, to be able to attract, to be able to put great bait out there for great candidates, and then be how to sort through those and screen them, how to make sure you sell them on coming on board, and then how do you keep them once you're there. So they've increased their knowledge base. A couple of resources that I highly recommend increase knowledge base. The book Who has become a huge piece of our, I call it a hymnal in our business growing arsenal. And it's something that we use a lot. It's a book by Jeffrey Smart, the book Who, and highly recommend that. It's a great field guide for being able to, attract, screen for, know what you're looking for, first of all. And then once you know who you're looking for, then be able to, attract, screen, interview effectively to make sure you got the right person, and then keep the right person. So I can't recommend this highly enough. And then also the Action Coach book written by Bradley Sugars, the founder of Action Coach, instant team building for more garden variety positions and more common positions like administrative assistants, ones that you would have a larger volume of applicants. The Action Coach system is a great way to work through a pretty high volume of candidates in a pretty quick time frame. So what methodology you would use, whether you'd focus on a little more of the who methodologies or the Action Coach team building system or hiring process systems, really depends on the position. If you're not sure on that, reach out to me and I can kind of tell you which one will make sense. And sometimes we use a hybrid of both, the Action Coach hiring system and the Hue methodologies, depending on the situation. So yeah, I'd learn them both and then, do what makes sense. But instant team building is something you can pick up. This is an old version of it. If you've got any of my old Action Coach colleagues around that see this, will crack up at the old version of instant team building. But this is and you'll if you go on Amazon and buy it or Kindle, it'll look a little different, but the title's still the same, instant team building. So 2 places to get some knowledge. You can't ever learn enough when it comes to hiring because it's such a critical component of your business. It's one of the big 4. People, having the right people is one of the big 4 in your business. All right. Other thing that we turned up was marketing. Marketing effectively. Most business owners, their strength is not marketing. Their strengths lie in other areas. Only about 20% of the business owners I run across are really, really strong at marketing. They really understand it, get it, know how to do it effectively. And really direct response marketing too. Like how do we invoke response? So it's often something I have to teach owners from a philosophical methodology perspective on how to do that. So you'll hear some things in these, casting a wide net. So that means, having not just I posted an ad on Indeed kind of strategy, but a wide range of marketing strategies, right? Use better bait is the other thing that's key to marketing. Is if you're going to attract a superstar, a rock star candidate, you got to use Rockstar bait. And so many owners aren't using Rockstar bait. So make sure that listen in for those little distinctions on how they're using better bait. The principles of marketing are in play. Listen for those in some of the things they talk about, which is one of the principles of marketing is target, offer, copy. Right? If you're going to have a good marketing campaign, you got to first start with your target. Who's your ideal candidate? Who's your ideal employee? If you were to build a bionic employee, if you were to describe a rock star employee, what are you after? And most importantly, what are they after? Like, what do they want? So next step is offer. What kind of offers would a rock star candidate, what do they want in a job, right? What kind of money are they looking for? And if you're going to, again, attract a rock star candidate, you have to advertise Rockstar money. And I wouldn't talk specifically about the money you're going to pay them day one. I would also advertise and market what the potential of the position is if they prove themselves to be a rock star after the honeymoon's over, 3-6 months down the road. If they're a top performer, then advertise that kind of money as what the income level is for the position. What else do they want? What matters to them? And that's good marketing, is what matters to the prospect. Also, what are the fears, frustrations, concerns of the marketplace, of the job candidate pool? What do they want? What are your strategic advantages that you have over the competitive landscape? So, as we have started to talk about those kind of things in the ads, or as these business owners start to talk about these kind of things in the ads, what's happened is they have attracted much higher caliber candidates. So the screening, you'll hear some things on screening. Don't waste time. Make sure you find ways not to waste time with tepid or uninterested candidates that aren't that engaged. And a lot of business owners get tied up with reading resumes that get shot to them on Indeed. And it's real easy. The problem with resumes, like sorting and screening through just resumes only, is that today it's real easy to get, used to be work for employers to get a resume. Like for a candidate to send an employer resume, it used to be work. That's why it's a thing, because employers wanted you to work for the application. But now it's really easy, right? The job boards, they advertise, right? In the Indeeds and the ZipRecruiters, those kind of things. One of the things they sell is, we'll get you resumes, we'll get you resumes, we'll get you candidates. I don't want a high volume of candidates. I don't want quantity of candidates. I want quality candidates that have taken some effort and energy to actually apply. So there's some ways to screen candidates. One of the traditional ways in the action coach system in the instant T building is to call a voicemail. You hear some people, talk about calling in to apply for the job. And that means we set up a virtual voicemail, and to apply, we just put in the ad, hey, call to apply. And they apply and they answer a few questions, but it makes them do some work. Or if they apply online, then we just hit a reply back to say, hey, congratulations, you made it to the next step. Call to take the next step in the application process, call and answer a few questions on this phone number. Sometimes there's some work to do. They have to watch a video that talks a little bit about the position of the company. But giving people a hump to jump over, kind of a step to jump over, so that you separate the curious candidates or just the people that are just hitting buttons, wasting your time, and moving them to to actually having to do something. So you're spending your time, the limited amount of time you have, juggling all the balls you have as a business owner, really dealing with sorting through the candidates that they're most interested. So listening for that. The sell the job is the other piece, right? Sell the job. Oh, by the way, on the screening piece, you can have them call a voicemail. If that didn't work, one of the things that also works is, on the job boards, there's some, potential tests they have to take or questions they have to answer. But, no matter what it is, make them do something beyond just hit a button and send a resume. Make them do some work. Make them send an email, answer 2 or 3 questions into you to apply, before you even spend any time looking at the resume. And that'll sort out you try and decide what are good candidates and bad candidates, based on resumes are often full of misinformation, and polishing the apple in regards to how good a candidate is. So make sure that you're focused on the candidates that are really interested and care enough to take a little extra step to apply to your job, and not just hitting send. I just applied for 5 jobs. Good on me. And I just put 5 business owners to work for 5 to 10 minutes looking at my resume. So you don't have to deal with that. Make them take the step. And if you've sold the job well and marketed it well, then they would be more willing to do that. The higher level candidates are willing to do that. And then the last thing I would encourage you to do is sell the job all the way throughout. And I don't think a lot of the owners talked about that. We were really talking about driving volume and getting more people interested and getting better candidates. But one of the things that you'll find in the book Who is how critical it is to sell the position all the way through the process, and not just at the end, right? So make sure you're all the way weaving the process, selling the job, using the 5 F's. And the 5 F's are in the book Who, which is fit, fortune, family, fun, and future. Those are the 5 F's. Now, what do those 5 F's mean, Coach? Yep. Go buy the book, read the book. It's available, Kindle, Amazon. Buy them online for a couple bucks, right? Used, about for $3 or $4 online used. So those are some things to really key into. And, if you're in your business, we need some help and guidance on how to fix the number one constraint that exists in so many business, maybe yours, if getting the right kind of people, enough people, or you're being kind of drugged down by having some mediocrity on your team, and you're just kind of out of answers on how to get rock stars. We help business owners do it all the time by providing them knowledge, support, guidance, to be able to help them what you're seeing is some business owners that have engaged us to do that and have, as a result, have ended up with some of the best hires they've ever had. So been doing it for a long time. Love to help you do it as well. So feel free to reach out to us if we can help. And on top of that, hope you can learn a few things from these business owners that we'll share through this little bit of series of finding great people. So anyway, got any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out. Happy learning. Hope to talk to you soon.